Hi everybody, today is August 1st, 2013. Some Syria missiles eluded Israeli strike, officials say. American intelligence analysts have concluded that a recent Israeli airstrike on a warehouse in Syria did not succeed in destroying all of the Russian-made anti-ship cruise missiles that were its target, American officials said on Wednesday, and that further Israeli strikes are likely. Israel carried out an attack on July 5th near Latakia to destroy the missiles, which Russia had sold to Syria. While the warehouse was destroyed, American intelligence analysts have now concluded that at least some of the missiles had been removed from their launchers and moved from the warehouse before the attack. I would say they had information that an attack was coming. The officials who described the new assessment declined to be identified because they were discussing classified information. Well, if that's the case, this video will be banned or blocked by the NSA. Israeli officials have said that they do not intend to enter the civil war in Syria, but that they are prepared to prevent sophisticated weapons from falling into hands of Hezbollah, the Lebanese militant, which have joined the war to support President Bashar Assad of Syria, and which controlled the warehouse where the missiles were stored. American and Israeli naval officials consider the missiles to be a serious threat to their ships. After the Israeli attack, the Assad government sought to hide the fact that the missiles had been missed by setting up fire to launchers and vehicles at the site to create the impression of a devastating blow, according to American intelligence reports. Now, isn't that sneaky? The Pentagon did not respond to a request for comment. Israel has a long-standing policy of silence on preemptive military strikes. Another factor that could lead to a military response by Israel is the continuing flow of weapons to the Assad government, some of which Israel fears may make its way to Hezbollah in neighboring Lebanon. Russia, American officials say, recently sent SA-26 anti-aircraft missiles to Syria, and it is also believed to be sending technical experts to help set up the system. The Russians have also recently delivered 2 refurbished Mi-24 Hindi helicopters to the Russian naval base at Tartus, Syria, for use by the Syrian military. And let's not forget that the Russians are now making a permanent base there and have said they're going to have a permanent presence in the Mediterranean. Russian officials have insisted once again that they are merely fulfilling old weapon contracts. But even the old contracts have involved the transfer of sophisticated arms. In addition, American officials say that the transfer of the missiles to Hezbollah by Syria would violate an end-users agreement, that the Russian missiles would not be provided to third parties. The July 5th attack near Latakia was the 4th known Israeli airstrike in Syria this year. Providing new details, American officials said that it had been carried out by Israeli aircraft that flew over the eastern Mediterranean, fired air-to-ground missiles, and never entered Syrian airspace. The route of the Israeli aircraft led to some erroneous reports that the attack had been carried out by an Israeli submarine. In addition to targeting the Yankont missiles, Israel carried out an airstrike in late January aimed at another system provided by Russia, a convoy of SA-17 surface-to-air missiles that Israel officials believe were destined for Hezbollah. Iran's arms shipments are also a concern for the Israelis. In May, Israeli warplanes conducted 2 days of airstrikes that targeted, among other things, a shipment of Fatah-110 missiles, mobile surface-to-surface missiles that had been provided by Iran and flown to Damascus, Syria, on transport planes that passed through Iraqi airspace. The Fatah-110 missiles, which the Israeli fear were also intended for Hezbollah, have the range to strike Tel Aviv and much of Israel from southern Lebanon. Iran sent members of its paramilitary Quds force into Syria, under the supervision of Major General Hossein Hamdani, a senior officer of the force, who is in charge of operations in Syria and oversees Iran's arms shipments to Hezbollah, according to American intelligence officials. Hezbollah's attempt to acquire weapons is supervised by a senior official in charge of the military's operations in Lebanon, according to American officials. Iran has also pressed Iraqi Shiites to join the fight in Syria in support of the Assad government. That includes about 200 members of the Bandar Corps, Iraqis who were supported by Iran during Tehran's long war against Saddam Hussein, and who later returned to Iraq after he was ousted from power, American officials say. The support of Iran and Hezbollah for the Assad government and Israel's military interventions reflect how the conflict has drawn in outside powers. Both Saudi Arabia and Qatar have been arming the Syrian rebels. Now, Saudi Arabia is used by the United States, the CIA. And Congress recently dropped objections to a proposal by President Obama to provide training and light arms to them. You know, I think of the movie The Lord of War and how this man that the movie depicted was actually being used by governments to fund wars. Big money in wars, and now they're all doing it, themselves instead of using a middleman. But with recent events, I wonder what Russia and Israel are going to do next. Alright, bookmark my site. I'll keep you up to date. Please stay safe, and I'll talk to you later. God bless you. Bye.